Dunsparce, or the Dunny, as we would call it in Australia. Good old Dunny. How you doing, Korea? Has Soul, welcome in. Hey, James, welcome in, guys. So, yeah, uh, not the greatest Pokemon in the world, but it's still pretty cool, I suppose. I mean, it is going to get an evolution at some point. We'll have the evolution added to the game. Let's have a look. Do I already have multiple shiny Dunsparce? I think I do. Yes, we have 3 shiny Dunsparce already. So, not a shiny that I need. It is double catch Stardust today. So I was going to say, maybe we can get a decent shiny, but it looks like we've already got a decent shiny and some decent ones in general. So, it doesn't really look like we need anything too great, but it's all good. How you doing, Leon? Welcome in, dude. So yeah, we'll get into it. We'll start hunting some shiny dunnies. The thingy, the thingy. The fashion event is the thingy that I am speaking of. How many shinies did people get during the... Okay, well, all right, guys. We are done with tonight's Spotlight Hour. A whole 1 minute in. We have our shiny. I'll see you guys tomorrow for rain. Okay, fair enough. Why can't this ever happen on the ones that I actually need? Like, why can't it be this easy? Why isn't it always this easy? Anyway, okay. We have another shiny Dunsparce. I haven't even gotten out of the car at this point. So, yeah, good times. Good times. Does it have decent stats? No, it does not. Thanks, Cassidy. Yeah, a whole 1 minute into the stream, we managed to get the shiny. So, we'll see how we go. We'll try and get another one, I suppose. Pretty sure you may have a hundo female one. Might be male. Doesn't really matter. It's a hundo. You hope you can get one as easily. Well, I guess we'll see. Are they a boosted shiny? I've never thought of this as being a boosted shiny, but I mean, when have we ever encountered enough Dunsparce in a small period of time to know whether or not it's a boosted one? Yeah, alright, I guess we'll keep hunting and we'll see how we go. Anyway, let's actually get out of the car, shall we? And walk. Take charger just in case. Don't think I'm going to need it, but it's always handy to have it just in case. Stuff that into my pocket. And charging cable so it doesn't fall out, because it wouldn't be the first time that charging cables have just disappeared out of my pocket. Alright, let us go. Get my water. I don't have to carry my water. I mean, I suppose the sun is out. Okay, just for you. It's not actually water. I suppose it is water. It just has electrolyte. Oh, my knees. It's not a lot of water, but it's electrolyte water. It's pink water. It's a pink drink. It tastes like watermelons. Get one of those helmets where I can carry a can on each side. What are they called? They have like a certain name. I can't remember what they're called. They were a real big thing during the 90s. You saw them on all the, like, the sitcoms. They were in The Simpsons and Roseanne and stuff like that. Alright, so I guess we'll continue hunting out Dunsparce. Like I said, it is double catch Stardust tonight. So if you guys are interested in stockpiling some Stardust, it is a good night to do so. Check on your star pieces, all of that good stuff. The female ones are the ones you want to get. Why so? Is there a difference between male and female Dunsparce? I've never really paid much attention to them, so I wouldn't know. Dunsparce to me has always just been like, okay, I'll ignore that one. But as you guys know, it is Com Day on the weekend. Good old Melbourne, turning on the stormy weather for Saturday apparently. So that's going to be fun, being out in storms all day and then having to go to my high school reunion. Lovely. Looking Seen bag, you can carry water, has tube. Yeah, they're like the military type of backpack things. Water packs. I was actually thinking of getting one of them a while ago. Never did, but just to sort of have one. Yeah, it's essentially like a water backpack with a funky little straw. Hey Becky, how you doing? For those that have just come into the stream, you've already missed the shiny. We got it a whole 45 seconds to a minute into the stream. It's like the third click of the stream we got the shiny, so. Oh my god. Dunsparce, why are you being a pain in the ass? I had to work real hard for it. It's one of those really hard fought after shinies. That was shiny number 4 for Dunsparce now. So it is what it is. As I said at the start of the stream, it would be nice if that happened with the ones that I actually needed. So yeah, as I asked at the start of the stream, how did everybody go with the Fashion Week event? How many shinies did Joe end up with? I mean, there's still lots of Denedes down here, which is hopefully a good thing, because hopefully I will get a shiny Denede. I need that Denede. The little chocolate poo rat. Is next week's Spotlight Hour, so I was actually looking forward to next week's Spotlight Hour, because it's just like, it's a shiny that I still need. I no longer need another shiny because I have 2 of them now. So, yeah, we got that last night. As for the fashion event, I ended up with an Absol, because who didn't? Absol was basically the most common shiny out of the event, given that it was boosted. So I was actually surprised when it took me so long to get one of them. And I also got the Diglett, which, oh yes, my favourite. I was hoping to get the Wooper. Wooper was probably the one that I wanted the most out of all of them. Just because Wooper looked like a little ghetto Wooper. Ghetto Wooper. It's going to rip out the spray cans and start bombing a train. Not that type of, yeah, that's probably going to be. I didn't mean like explosive bombing. Bombing is a word that is used for graffiti, for those that did not know. And there is a lot of Patilils down here. Patilil. I could actually use the second one of these. It looks like it is actually a Patilil nest. We got 4 Absol, 2 Diglett, Pikachu, Male Frillish, Croagunk. I really wanted the Gothorita, so glad it's coming back. Yeah, Gothorita will always be around, sort of thing. Now that they've released it as a shiny, hopefully it'll become more of a common spawn, because it's not just for the fashion event, it's more of the costume Pokemon that were for the fashion event. I'm surprised with the amount of Frillish that I saw that I didn't actually end up with the shiny. Mind you, I didn't really hunt too much during the hours, or the hours, the days sort of thing. So it's been a very lazy day today. Surprise, surprise, I did not actually do a workout. Today was a rest day. I've decided that I finally actually needed a rest day because I've been so fatigued lately. And it's probably just because every rest day that I'm supposed to have, I end up working out on that day. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. What am I going to do? I may as well work out. And then I wonder why I'm always fatigued. So today I forced myself to actually have a day off. Okay, cool. You've only been playing for almost 2 months, so I'm not really familiar with all the Pokemon. Yeah, Gothita. It'll be a it's not just a fashion day spawn. It was just when they released the shiny for it, sort of thing. I've seen a couple of them since the end of the event. It'll be boosted mainly during windy weather because it's a psychic type Pokemon. So whenever you see windy weather go out, you might see a few here and there. You think you only got the Absol shiny? It's better than no shinies. Yeah, I think all up I only ended up doing like 2 of the Dragonite raids, and like the one that we encountered from the free part of the research, because I didn't end up buying the ticket because I was like, there's no point buying the ticket just to get increased spawns with some of the Pokemon that were already sort of spawning in abundance. Oh my god, will you just stay in the flipping ball? Flipping balls. Coming in late to the game. I mean, as long as there's still people that are coming into the game at this point, because we sort of need that, because so many people have left the game. One of these, can you stay in the ball first try? That is wonderful. Thank you. I love your streams, been learning a lot. I'm glad that if there's anything that you need to know, like want to know, just ask. If I don't see the message, someone else in the chat will be happy to help out. We're a fairly helpful community. Try to be, at least. So yeah, if there's anything that you need to know, just ask.
Yeah, man.
Good, yourself? Been going through just over, got over, oh nice, 13,000 catches in 2 months. That's pretty good, dude. Pretty good. Catching up on me. I'm at 150,000 catches and I've been playing for 7 years. A lot of the time these days when I'm catching stuff, I am not catching stuff. I'm just clicking it, like a lot of the stuff tonight. Shiny checking seems to be my main goal and focus. PC, you play on a PC. Suggest as a newer player, try and catch as much as possible, just because it is a good way to level up and stockpile candies and stuff like that. I've already done a lot of that stuff, so I don't really need to do so much catching these days in comparison. So shiny checking has sort of become my thing, especially when I was doing videos, because shinies were sort of like a draw card of the video, so I needed to try and utilize as many encounters as possible to get those shinies for the videos, so catching sort of went to the wayside. No spoofing, that doesn't sound fun. Yeah, there's a lot of people which do. I don't judge people for the way that they play the game, as long as they're not harassing people and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I prefer to play it in person as well. I mean, if you want to sit around and play a Pokemon game, there are better Pokemon games to play that you can just sit on the couch doing, like the main series games. If you want to play Pokemon Go, sort of like, it's worth actually going out into the real world and doing it, because you do see some cool things. I've gone to some places and seen some things that I wouldn't have seen if it wasn't for Pokemon Go, met people that I wouldn't have met otherwise, sort of thing. So it has its benefits, definitely. Hey Diana, how you doing? Where's Negan? I don't know. She's just not here. She might show up at some point. I'm not sure when she was coming down to Melbourne, so maybe she's already in Melbourne, because she said that she was going to her sister's, so maybe she's there, sort of thing. So I am not sure. Not sure. Oh yeah, fly, don't go in my mouth. That is the last place I want flies to be, in my mouth. You like that it gets you out walking, but winter is coming. Winter is coming. Sounds very Game of Thrones. It's coming, so are you glad you live close to a mall of America? Yeah, see, unfortunately where I live, there's no sort of like big indoor area to play, so during the winter months it's either you sit in the car or you just brave the weather. In comparison, like, I live in Australia, so our cold weather, it gets cold and windy and rainy and all that sort of stuff, but in comparison to other parts of the world, it's not really that bad. I'll still complain though, just because it's the cold weather that I'm used to. So when it gets cold, and I will complain. I got people that are in Canada and, you know, parts of America and over like in Europe and stuff like that, they're like, dude, that's not cold, what are you whinging about? I'm like, shut up. I'm Australian, alright? I'm used to like 30-degree weather. So yeah, again, for those that did miss it, a whole 1 minute into the stream, one thing that I do complain about is the flies. I just looked at my shoulder and there's like 3 flies just sitting on my shoulder. I hate flies. Australian flies are the worst. Yeah, we got the shiny like 1 minute into the stream. It's like the 3rd click of the stream was the shiny, so we did well this evening. That was lucky. It was incredibly lucky. As I was saying though, I wish that would happen during the, you know, the spotlight hours where I'm actually hunting the shiny actively. Like, it's a shiny that I need. This is not. That was shiny number 4 for Dunsparce. It's actually nice being out in the sun. I did have a Red Bull before I came down because I had to wake up. I was like half asleep still. I was like, I don't really want to go and do Spotlight Hour tonight, especially since it's Dunsparce. I better have a Red Bull. Wake up. Oh, that's good. This can be my exercise for the day. Get a couple of Ks in. Fly, leave me alone, please. You woke up at 6 a.m. I went to bed at around 5 a.m. So that's something that I really need to change around. Because I think that is also good. Hey, it's tiny. That's also contributing to the fact that I'm always fatigued. It's like I forget that I'm not young anymore, so I can't stay up until like 5 a.m. and expect to wake up not feeling like absolute shit the next day. Tired and just want to sleep all day. Getting old sucks. It's actually my birthday in 9 days. 10 days because it's the 1st of December, so yeah, it's my birthday in 10 days, guys. 10 days. Yay. Another year closer to death. Like, when you're younger, your birthday is like such a cool thing. You're like, yes, I'm getting older, but then as soon as you get to that age where you become an adult, you're just like, damn it, it's my birthday. Again, that happened. It's like I only had a birthday like a few months ago. What happened? Why does this keep happening like every few months? Why do I keep getting older so quickly? And the more time that goes past, and then you're 20s anymore, and you're just like, what happened? I thought I was going to be 20 forever, or in my 20s forever. Dude, you don't want my cuddles, trust me. Would you use a remote raid for Lucario or Gardevoir? Gardevoir is one of your favorites. You don't have the shiny yet, but heard Lucario is pretty good. It depends on if you want them. I'm not going to tell you what to use your remote raid passes on. If you want to do them, then do them. It's all just a matter of what you want, what you're willing to spend money on. I mean, what some people will spend, other people won't, like passes on, use passes on sort of thing. You know what I'm saying. It depends on if you want some. I mean, Lucario, I don't know if Riolu will ever get a Com Day sort of thing. Because it's more of an egg Pokemon, so it might be one of those Pokemon that just stays in eggs. So if he wants a Lucario, it's a good way to try and get a decent one. Like I said, it just depends on what people are willing to spend their passes on, and that's totally up to you. Lucario is a good fighting type. Being fighting steel, it's like top 5 fighting types sort of thing. So it's worth getting one. Gardevoir is a good fairy type, so it's worth getting one. But as he said, Rolls will more than likely get a Com Day Classic at some point. And it might be worth waiting for it just so it does get synchronized. You know, synchronized it's not the greatest move for Gardevoir. It's better for what's its male type again? What's its male version? I keep thinking Gardein, but that's not right. Gallade, sorry, yeah, Gallade. Gallade, that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, Gallade is better with synchronized because it's a psychic type move. I thought it was a fighting type move. Yeah, Gardevoir is better as a fairy type though over psychic type, so still, I don't think it really fits. It's still better on Gallade. You do 5 remotes a day, so just wondering which one is more worth it. Well, if you're doing your 5 a day, it's worth probably doing at least 1 or 2 of them just to try and get a decent one. You have more chance of getting a decent one from raids than just finding one randomly in the wild. You won't find a Lucario in the wild. Just because it's an egg hatched Pokemon, so you would have to hatch a Riolu. So your only other opportunity at this point is getting one from a raid. Gardevoir you may find in the wild every so often, sort of thing. They are like a rarer spawn. But again, you're more likely going to get a decent IV one from a raid. But yeah, Gardevoir can be fairly useful because it is a good fairy type Pokemon. And fairy types are one of the OG, or OP I should say, types in the game, just because they're very useful against dragon types. And dragon types seem to make up the vast majority of legendaries, so having some decent fairy types is always very useful. Hey, dude, thank you so much for the $20 donation, man. Like, that was very unexpected. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry for asking so many questions. You hope it's not... No, dude, that's why I'm here. I'd rather talk to you guys than not talk to you guys, so ask away. But yeah, dude, thank you so much for the donation. Can we get some hearts in the chat? Bring up my... For the dono. Cheers, man. Put some pog faces in there as well. Yeah, no way do I mind answering questions for you guys. Like I said, it gives me stuff to talk about during the streams. So bone. So James, were you going to be in Melbourne on Saturday? Oh, my hand fly. Okay, so I think we've pretty much established it. This is not a boosted shiny, so I think I just got incredibly lucky at the start of the stream. I didn't think it was a boosted shiny, but just for the simple fact that I got it so quickly, it made me thought that maybe, or maybe think I should say, that maybe they decided to boost it. I don't know. Like I said, I've never seen a large abundance of Dunsparce in an event before, because it's been featured during some events, but still not en masse like this, so... yeah, I've never actually had the experience of just like, is this boosted or not? But it's not looking like it. I should actually check to see how many Dunsparce have I encountered in total. Uh, 916 Dunsparce. I've only caught 106. So that shows you how much I care about Dunsparce. I've encountered nearly 1,000 and I've caught like 10% of them. A bit over 10% at this point. And yeah, so 4 shinies in under 1,000 encounters. So that's actually a pretty good strike rate. And I'm starting to wish that I put different pants on before I... I'm wearing lazy sweatpants right now, and it's actually a bit warm out here in the sun, so I'm starting to regret wearing sweatpants. I should have wore other pants. Alright, we are halfway through. Pretty much 6:30, so not bad so far. Let's see if we can actually get our encounters to over 1,000 before the end of the... This is why I'm not catching them. Trying to save my Pokeballs for the weekend. Even though where I'm going to be, it's going to be abundance of Pokestops sort of thing. I'm just more worried about the rain because I really don't want to have to be walking through the thunder and rain all day. I hope that it's sort of like later in the day, past 8 hours something. You're not sure because you can't drive due to your crashed in shoulder, I should say, or travel on public transport, just in case someone knocks your shoulder by mistake. All good, dude. Shouldn't be too bad on public transport. I mean, unless you get on a crowded tram or something like that. Trains usually aren't too bad. But it's totally up to you, man. Just know that I'll be at Carlton Gardens, because that's usually where I do my comm days when I'm in the city. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of cover there. I mean, there's trees and that, but I suppose there is like the museum sort of thing, so you can stay under the cover of the museum. There's just not a lot of Pokestops around that region. They're all sort of scattered through the park. Another day, another Pokestop. Hey Chom, how you doing, man? Welcome in. How's your day? Evening, mate. How you doing? Hey, we actually caught one. Oh my god. And those that have just come in again. Third click of the stream. Shiny. So we do have the shiny. Lying in bed comfy. Nice. I wouldn't say that that's what I've done all day because I wasn't so much in bed, but I did lay on the couch for a little bit and then I wasn't. Spent most of my day just watching random YouTube stuff. Good use of my time. Oh, you're near Dandenong. Okay. Okay. You live about as far out of the city as I do, sort of thing, but on the other side. You live in one mountain region. And with the ranges, I should say, they're not really mountains anymore, but you know, you live in one side where the ranges are, I live on the other side where the hills are. Or, as I said before, on one side of the caldera, and I live on the other side of the caldera because that's basically what Melbourne is. It's in the middle of a massive caldera. You still need the shiny Dunsparce. Unlucky, man. That was my fourth one. We have 4 shiny Dunnies now. So I would happily trade you one if I could. Jimmy needs to move closer. If it wasn't for your shoulder, you wouldn't care about the distance. That's all good, dude. I know. But yeah, if you're injured, that's all good. I was just coughing my guts out. Every time I go to breathe in to say something. Yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah. I just thought, because, you know, Negan's going to be down, that maybe you would have popped along as well, but that's okay. Then again, you haven't found even I've got a shiny Tauros, and it's not even my regional. But that's just because of eggs. Good old eggies. And as you can see, it's a lucky, so it wasn't even mine. It was from the second account. You guys know the story of the Hundo and Shiny hatched back to back on the second account. So at least I could pinch this from the other one. And I think it's like 4 shiny Kangas. Kinga. 5. I have 5 shiny Kangas. 5 shiny Kangas and 4 Hundos. So as you can see, I don't need anything else to do with Kangaskhan. It just hates me. And it's your regional, yeah. See, back when the game first released, like, Kangaskhan was really rare around here, which was surprising. Like, it took me ages to finally catch a Kangaskhan. And I see them, like, at least one a day now. Sort of thing. I always seem to have them spawning at my house. On top of real kangaroo, like, not physically, but I have real kangaroos bounding around my place all the time as well. It's huge. You got a shiny Kanga, you got a Druid, the Mega. Yeah, see, Kangaskhan is the one that's been around more than any of the other regionals. Like, they've spread it around in raids and egg hatching days and stuff like that, egg hatching events. So Kangaskhan, for the lack of a better way, is the loosest of the regionals. It's all over the place. Just getting it on with everybody. Good old Kangaskhan. Oh, good, James. Yeah, as I said, Carlton Gardens is sort of like the centre for both of us, because it's in the city sort of thing, so you live about as far out of the city as I do. And I drive. So if you're on the bus, it's going to take a lot longer. Don't you have, like, no, maybe not V lines, but isn't there a train from Dandy that you can get? I mean, same as a bus, but wouldn't it be more direct than a bus? Oh my god. And it was at Go Fest New York as well. It's not as rare. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I said, it's the one that's been around the most out of all the regionals. Farfetch'd is probably the least that's been around. Mr. Mime's been around a bit. Tauros has been around a bit, but I'd say that Farfetch'd is probably the rarest out of the 4 original. The 4 OGs. You just realised his name is Kangaskhan because of the pouch, and because it's a kangaroo. And it's like a play on Genghis Khan and Kangaskhan. Like a kangaroo, Kangaskhan. Which isn't very Australian. And if you guys have seen Vivek Arts Australian, like Pokemon region, she did an Australian version of Kangaskhan, and that's actually what Kangaskhan should have been. It's like a boxing kangaroo. So it's Kangaskhan, but it's got boxing gloves on. And that fits in better with the whole Australian kangaroo thing, I think that would be. Farfetch'd is extremely rare. I do have multiple hundo. I've got like 4 hundos of it. When we were getting them spawning here, but I don't have the shiny. I think at this point, with the fact that they've sort of wrapped up the Kanto region, like we've had the Kanto tour and all that sort of stuff, maybe they should retire those regionals and just make them available to everybody. Or still keep them as regionals for the most part, but just make them a little bit more accessible. Like maybe just put them into the raid rotation a bit more often, stuff like that, just to give people a chance of getting, especially with Mr. Mime and stuff, because it's got a baby Pokemon. I think Mine Junior should be a little bit more accessible. We need the Armored Mewtwo. I don't know if they'll ever bring that back, because it was released for the remake of Mewtwo Strikes Back sort of thing, so there's no real reason for them to bring it back. Just like some other costume Pokemon that we've had in the game, like they've only ever had them once, and it's just been because it's tied in with an event. So Armored Mewtwo might be the same, they just won't bring it back. Honestly, there's no point them really bringing it back just because it's not good in any way. It's a defensive Pokemon. Because of the armored stuff, defense is boosted, but its attack is lowered. So it's not even good for anything. So honestly, just find somebody that's got a spare one and trade them. Like, I think that would be the better thing to do than having them back in raids. Just because, yeah, they're not very useful. You wonder how they'll release the new Tauros form? Probably they'll just, when they actually get around, because it's Galarian Tauros. No, it's Paldean, isn't it? Yeah, Paldean, because of the whole Spain bull thing. They'll probably just hold it off until Paldean region releases, and then they'll put it into an event, and then probably just make it a regional in America like normal Tauros. That would be my guess. So they'll release it during an event where everybody has access to it, and then they'll just make it a regional. Work for the, you mean Niantic? I'd rather not work for Niantic. I don't like just being hated because of a company that I work for. I mean, I feel sorry for a lot of the devs, most of the devs, if not all the devs that work on Pokemon Go, because it's not their fault the game is the way that it is. It's the people that are in charge of Niantic which make all the decisions. So, yeah, they get a lot of hate, like misdirected hate. It's not really their fault. So yeah, I don't think I'd want to work for Niantic just quietly. Seems like it'd be a fairly thankless job. We got a train, yeah. We got the 901, I think. It goes from the city. I think it's a tram bus to get... okay. See, I'm lucky because where I live, I got the V line that travels basically from the back of Smash Station to Spencer Street Station. So if I wanted to, I can just catch the train in or drive in. I have choices. Did I find the shiny? Yes. On the very third click of the stream. 3 clicks in, not even a minute into the stream, and we got the shiny. So that pretty much sums up my love-hate relationship with Dunsparce. I hate it, but I'll get the shiny of it very easily. You could see them bringing back Armored Mewtwo for the 25th anniversary, the first movie. Yeah, perhaps. That's probably the best time for them to bring it back. Bring it back as the shiny version. So, yeah, if they're going to bring it back at any point, that would make sense. Outside of that, there's not really much point for them to bring it back. Like I said, I don't think they'll ever give it to, like, Giovanni and have it as Armored Mewtwo is now with Giovanni and you can get the Shadow version and all that sort of stuff. I don't even really like the Armored Mewtwo, though. Like, the original Armored Mewtwo is good, but the one that they released for the movie just looks like the Predator. So, yeah, not a huge fan of it. Like, I don't understand why it's got the... There we go. Yeah, why has it got these big spiky things on the side of it? Looks like a porcupine with armor. Or an echidna. Or a blossoming flower. Or sort of like a cross between the Predator and a face-hugging alien. So it's like gonna give you a big old cuddle and then trample you to death. But yeah, it just looks like the Predator. Or if you guys have seen like the most recent Predator movie where they get the Predator armor at the end sort of thing, that's what it looks like. Just looks like the Predator killing armor. To kill a Predator. To catch a Predator. T-Cap. We need Chris Hansen to bring in the next Mewtwo. for shiny. There's a lot of people that seem to still be looking for this shiny Dunsparce. I don't know why I've been so lucky with them. As I said at the start of the stream, I wasn't sure whether or not it was a boosted shiny just because I got it so quickly and I just never really see an abundance of Dunsparce. But every time it has been featured during an event, because I think the other ones that I got might have been during the Johto tour. Let's have a little look-see. 2020, okay, no, that one's not during Johto, that one's just a basic one. That one's just a basic one in 2021. And that one was GoFest in 2022. So I am corrected. None of them were during the Johto tour. Yeah, I know it still says Spotlight Hour. I remembered that on my way down. I was like, that's something that I needed to change. And then I was just like, oh, damn it, I didn't I forgot to change it again because I wasn't paying attention. It shows you how little attention I'm actually paying when I'm getting ready for a stream. I'm sort of just in my zone and I'm like changing the stuff that I need to change for the thumbnail and then uploading and getting the stream ready and all that sort of stuff. And then little things like that I just overlook because I'm not paying close enough attention to that stuff. So yeah, I will try and change. I'll try to remember to change it. Are you heading back to work? Okay, no worries, Steph. Thank you for dropping in. Good luck for your Spotlight Hour. Hopefully you'll end up getting the shiny sort of thing. If you get a chance to actually go out and get it. You're wondering, is this like some Spotlight Hour? Yes, so this is Spotlight Hour. It's supposed to say Spotlight Hour on the thumbnail, but it doesn't. It's just Spotlight. We were just discussing that. So yeah, this is this week's Spotlight Hour. It is Dunsparce. Next week it is Lechonk. Oh no, that's all good, Dad. Pranks. All good. That's why we're here, to answer questions for you guys. So yeah, those that did miss. Shinies. We did get the shiny. Whole 1 minute into the stream. So we utilised our hour very well. It took us a whole minute to get the shiny. Third click in. And then yeah, like I said, next week's is Lechonk. That was the last shiny that I got. Got it just sitting at home, so I was actually looking forward to next week's Spotlight Hour because this is a shiny that I needed another one of because I've already got one. So yeah, I mean I can still, because the male and the female ones are different from each other, aren't they? The evolutions. I can't actually remember. So I mean, if I can get another one, that'd be cute. There's a lot of Nidorino down here as well. Yeah, Nidorino. Because it's got the little O at the end. I'm like, Nidorans. They've been here for a while. I feel like they've been here for a couple of weeks now. We have 10 minutes left. So at this point, it looks like I may be doing another lap around here. So it seems like a bit long to just sit around and we're in the car park for like 10 minutes. So we'll keep walking. We'll do another lap around. unfortunately afterwards, because there's no event going on at the moment, the spawns are a little bit average. So we'll see if we can get anything else afterwards. I've been seeing a lot of evolutions. Last night, was this spawn or last night? I think no, last night. I opened my game. I had a Blissey, an Espeon, and a Salamence on my nearby, and I'm like, what? Why do I have all this stuff on like my nearby? And of course, none of it was in my general vicinity, sitting on the couch. So I was like, I'm not going to get it. I don't need any of this. I've got a hundo of like all of those things. So let's see, can we get another shiny to finish off our day? You've been seeing a lot of Nidorino since the Festival Lights. Well, see, the ones that are down here, I'm positive that they've been here since our last Com Day, which has been a while. Same with the, because there's a lot of Denede that are spawning down here as well. So we've had a lot of Denede and a lot of Nidorans just spawning. So I was assuming that they were nest Pokemons because everything. So yeah, maybe that is. Maybe it's only been the last couple of weeks that I'm just thinking that it's been longer. A huge rat. Awesome. Just what I've always wanted. I still need this shiny. Like, Denede's just being one of those ones that's eluding me. Why does your gym have There's a reason. I think it's because they've been... That's one of the stops, the blue ring, that's what it means. Because a gym is just like a thing. So, actually, are they? Charge them up like you can't stop. I think it's just because it's boosted. Yeah, scan Pokestop. So I think you can do that on the gyms as well. So that's probably what it is. If you scan it, you can do the boost to it, which just increase spawns and like items and drops and stuff like that. So I think that's what it is. Yeah, you don't see them very often, just because a lot of people don't do the scanning. Yeah, there's so many features in the game which don't really, like, you don't see them very often just because nobody actually seems to ever do them. That's one of them. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Alright, 5 more minutes. When I was actually getting ready for the stream earlier, I saw some concept art for people, or from people I should say, not of people, for Dunsparce, like an evolution for Dunsparce, but I'm guessing that they were done before. Wait, which one is it? It's Paldean, yeah. Because I always get Hisuian and the Paldean regions mixed up just because they were released so close to each other. It was Paldean, yeah, where it got its evolution. And the fan-made ones look so much better. It's just like Niantic, or not Niantic, the Pokemon Company really should have taken some just inspiration from some of those fan-made stuff instead of just giving it such a worthless-looking evolution. Actually made it into like a decent Pokemon, like giving it a Dragon-type evolution or something, and turning it into like a good Pokemon. It says, okay, yeah, so it is a powered up. So I was correct. That is why it has the blue ring underneath it. Like I said, you just don't see them very often, so it's easy to forget why. So it's like, I know there's a reason. I'm pretty sure that's it. Turns out I'm not as forgetful as I thought I was. Dunnies, the Dunnies and the Dennies. Over Patelel, I would take another shiny Patelel. After a Spotlight Hour a few months back where I actually got the first shiny Patelel. So it would be very fitting to get another one from Spotlight Hour. Final minute. I always seem to get to like this part of the show where I'm like a minute left and there's not a lot of spawns. So just quietly, I don't think we're going to get too many more encounters. But if we're lucky, we'll get it with like our third last encounter for the day to match up with our third of the day to get the shiny. Nope, there we go. It's done. It's over. But yeah, okay, at least we got the shiny, so there's that. Hooray. Awesome. I did something. It would have been nice if it wasn't in like the first minute of the stream, just so more of you guys could have seen it, but hey, we got the shiny, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, we've already started our lap around, so like I said, I'll walk around, do another lap. I'll finish this lap around here, see if we can encounter anything else. We've got this egg that's going to hatch soon. I may as well chuck on my daily incense, see if we can get anything out of that. You'll rewatch the start later. Yeah, like it's literally in the first minute of the stream, so it shouldn't be hard to find. It's like number 3, like out of the clicks. So click. Thanks for another great spook later. No worries. I'm glad that I could be spooky. Yeah, I've really got to remember to change that. Maybe now that I've been not such criticised, you guys have, you've reminded me you've shamed me into remembering that I forgot to change it, that I'll actually remember it this time. It's a little bit chilly. It's all good, Korea. I'm only joking, man. Sometimes these things. Oh, my bag's full. That's changed. Unless there's some bags full. This is just a lot bigger than it used to be. It's all good, dude. I'm only joking. Awesome, because you know I'm not going to see enough of them on the weekend. Oh, and also if I do encounter a Galarian bird, I am not using my monster ball on it, guys. I am not going to waste that on a Galarian bird. If there's nothing else that you could really use that on, I am not going to do it. But we'll see. Yeah, I wish they would give a bit of an update to the spawns, because the seasonal spawns just seem to get it stale very quickly, and outside of an event, just doesn't really seem to be anything that's worth catching at the moment. Like too many birds, like fletchlings and pit-doves and stuff, like the swablues as well. There's a lot of birds around. It's not bad. Better ones. Yeah, so far this daily incense is not doing the greatest. Not getting a lot of good stuff. Because yeah, back when they first started dropping the daily incense, it seemed like you would get at least 1 or 2 decent spawns out of it. Like not necessarily one of the Galarian birds, but just an evolved form of something you don't see very often. Just don't see a lot of that these days. Yeah, I'll be hosting both Terrakion and Cobalion. So Cobalion is tomorrow night for Raid Hour, Terrakion is next week. So every Wednesday, basically the same time as Z streams, we do Raid Hour. So yeah, I'll definitely be doing Terrakion, because Terrakion is a shiny that I still need. So it's one that I want. Yeah, I've got the other 2 already. I don't have Terrakion. If you guys missed that, I actually got the Hundo Virizion last week. I think you have 1 pass for tomorrow's Raid Hour. Oh, good. Yeah, I probably won't be going too hard on Cobalion because I do have, I think it's 2 shinies for Cobalion. Yeah, we have 2 shinies for Cobalions already, so I'll be hosting raids like normal, but I'm not going to be going out of my way to do an abundance of them sort of thing. Yeah, it'll be Terrakion that I want to do the most of. Ooh, eggies. Can the view? Yeah, that's why I host them for you guys. Why is it everything that I hatch seems to be a Lickitung these days? I hatched so many of these things. I hatched a hundo of one like recently. Yeah, so as for doing the raid, hey, an actual 2k egg, my god, that is something that you don't see much of these days. Yeah, I host the raids mainly for you guys. Try and get your shinies and so on. So yeah, viewers are definitely welcome into the raids. Yeah, I miss the raid hours that we used to have before Niantic nerfed them. Or nerfed the raid passes, basically. Because they used to be good. Used to be one of the best streams that we had. What is with all the Arcanine? That is like the second one in a couple of minutes. You didn't get your Master Ball, you needed 6 raids and... Oh, damn, 2. That sucks, man. I just had a whole bunch of spare incubators, so I just chucked on clutches of eggs at the same time and just got the eggs done fairly quickly. Because it was only 30 eggs, so if you hatched like stacks of 9 at a time, you only needed to do that like 3 times. Plus a couple of extras and you were done with that. The raids was the last thing I ended up getting done, but because I use raid hours with you guys every week, we're able to get through that fairly easily as well, because we're doing, 5-6 raids a week. Cool, you'll definitely try and join. You don't have many good mons though. You need to learn about powering up stuff. You have over 2.5 million Stardust. That's all good. We usually have decent numbers in on the raids anyway, so we shouldn't struggle too much. Unfortunately, Cobalion doesn't have a double weakness like Virizion does. Virizion is double weak to flying types. Cobalion is fighting steel. No, wait. No, it doesn't have double weakness. But again, flying types, because of the fighting, poison types. Unfortunately, the steel typing sort of negates a lot of the stuff that fighting is weakest. You can still use like fire types and stuff like that, so decent fighting types, fire types. I think Blaziken is one of the best ones that you can use because it's fighting fire. And yeah, a couple other things like that. So we've got some decent Blazikens. Hey, a Kabutops, right? 35 CP Kabutops. Still need this shiny. It's like one of the last Kanto shinies that I'm still hunting. After all these years, I still do not have a shiny Kabuto/Kabutops. May as well. Good old Pidgeot. You just need to, there's lots of websites that you can jump on that'll rank types, like the Pokemon that are available. And another... We got another one. So yeah, just jump onto some of the websites, like Pokebattler and stuff like that, and they tend to rank which ones are the best. for they do it for both raids and for PvP, so because Pokemon will vary which ones are best for whatever you're going to use them for. Some are better for PvP, some are better for raids. Unfortunately, there's a lot of Pokemon that feature during com days that become better than they are with their special move. So unless you evolve them during an actual com day, you won't get, like, they won't be as good as what they could have been. For instance, a lot of the starters, like Charmander or Charizard and stuff like that. Charizard is a lot better with Blast Burn, but you can only get Blast Burn during com days. Yeah, don't worry about spending money on the Master Balls. Like I said, there's nothing to really use a Master Ball on, so having them isn't really that important, in my opinion. Because like I said, I'm not going to waste a Master Ball on a Galarian bird, just because you can get Galarian birds from raids when they finally release them into raids, and they'll be better from than anything you'll get in the wild. Another shiny that is still eluding me. You got two shiny. Yeah, see, I'm like that with Omanyte. I've got a few Omanyte. I just haven't been able to get Kabuto. I don't know. It's just every time it's featured during an event, I just cannot get one. So yeah, during the Adventure Week events and what other events are they available? Like the Kanto events and stuff like that. Just had no luck with them. As I've said before, I'm pretty sure there's different shiny odds for different shinies, for different trainers. And it's just one of the ones that's harder for me to get than other ones. Because I have encountered Kaboot. Nearly 2,000 without a shiny. So that shows you that I am way over odds. Nearly 2,000 encounters. I've caught 926 of them and I still don't have the shiny. It hates me. It truly hates me, that one. I think it's now the oldest shiny that's available in the game that I still don't have. Because that's been around for quite a while now, that shiny. Can you ask what you used on it? Sorry, what? What did I use what on? Are you asking me or Beck? Sorry, man. Oh, you mean a Master Ball? Nothing at this point. There's nothing in game that I feel warrants using a Master Ball on. Any shiny legendary that you encounter is 100% catch rate, so you're going to catch it either way. You can't use your Master Balls in raid battles anyway. The only thing that people would use a Master Ball on is the Galarian bird, just because it has such a low catch rate. It's the reason why they added the Galarian birds the way that they did, to actually give people a reason to use the Master Ball, because without it, there's no real reason to use a Master Ball. But to me, like I said, there's no point, just because they will release them into raids at some point, because they are a legendary Pokemon. So as soon as they start rolling out more of the Galarian region, we'll get them in raids. Hey Minecraft, how you doing, man? A nice Spotlight Hour. You could say that. I got the shiny in 3 clicks, so I didn't pay too much attention to it though. Caught some. Was double Stardust, if that's what you're hunting. Used yours on a Galarian Moltres. Like I said, if you want to use it on the Galarian birds, then go for it, because like I said, there's nothing else that I really warrant using one on. But personally, yeah, it's just going to probably sit there for me and collect dust. It'll never get used. Yeah, I got the shinies like shiny 3 clicks into the stream, dude. It was in like the first minute. Shiny Dunny. Here it is cold and it gets dark at 5. Don't know how to play. The same way that you would play it any other time. Dude, you've seen me wandering around in the cold and the dark during spotlight hours. That happens to me during these this time, well, not this time of the year, but these hours in other times of the year. You can do it. If I can walk around in, 7-degree weather, freezing cold, raining, looking for shinies that I don't need, you can do it too. You live a lot closer to the equator than I do, so it can't get that cold. Some of it, yes. There are still parts of Australia which you wouldn't want to walk around at night, well, basically any time of the day, unless you were a local. I do have the added benefit that I am a male, so I don't have to worry about it too much. It can be a lot harder for women to walk around by themselves, sort of thing, just because there is a lot of degenerates out there, which, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. It can be very unsafe for women to walk around. Like over the last couple of years, there's been a few women that have been murdered and had other things done to them and stuff like that because of them walking home at night by themselves, which is not a good thing. Everybody should feel safe walking around at any time of night. Speaking of which, I was watching one of Charlie's videos the other day, and he was actually covering these streamers which got arrested recently in New York, and they were basically doing that, like walking around and harassing women at night time, like not doing stuff to them physically or anything, but just trying to chat them up and pick them up and stuff. And this one dude, like this woman's walking past and she says something and he's like, oh, it doesn't matter what you think, and the look on her face, just the change. She was trying to be friendly and just brush him off, be like, nah, sorry guys, I'm not interested, I'm just going home. And then yeah, after he said that, the look of terror on her face was just, it almost broke my heart. It was just like, oh my god, this poor woman. She goes from just trying to be nice to these guys to like truly terrified that they were going to try and do something, like abduct her or something like that. And I was just like, yeah, the empathy that you felt, the secondhand empathy, just like, god damn it, like, how do you not realize that this woman is fearing for her life now? You're streaming and you're just having a laugh, but she doesn't know that. She doesn't know what your intentions are. She's terrified. You're an idiot. Use yours on a wild Pidgey, Jimmy. Heard they are so rare. Yeah, dude, totally. Have you seen the people that have used them on like Zorora? They've seen a wild legendary, like shiny legendary pop up, and it's just Zorora. So they've just caught a random Zorora using their Master Ball, and it's just like, oh guys, no, legendaries aren't going to spawn in the wild. What are you doing? How can people do that and think it's funny? Because it gets them views. There are a lot of streamers in the world which do really messed up things just because it gets them views. Like you've seen a lot of the people in Japan recently which have just been doing totally degenerate, disrespectful things to the people of Japan just because it gets them views. And yeah, you see it all over the world. We live in a really messed up time where people just do messed up things for clout. Like, did you see there was a guy in America that was like walking through a park like king hitting people? like coward punching people in the back of their head just for TikTok. Like, it's a TikTok prank. And it's like, no, dude, you're assault. Like, he literally assaulted people by punching them and then pulled a gun on them and was just trying to say that, no, it was just a TikTok prank. I was just filming it just so I could upload it onto TikTok. And it's just like, dude, you're committing assault and like pulling a weapon on somebody just to try and get clout on the internet. It's just like, how degenerately stupid are you? But unfortunately, that's the world that we live in, where people just put their intelligence behind getting views. Like, getting views on the internet is more important than being, you know, an actual normal person. Sharky, I'm in Australia, dude. Here no one is safe alone. Yeah, that sucks, man. Also, Australia won the Cricket World Cup, beating India in the finals. You're not sad. We have Jimmy from Australia. Honestly, dude, I don't really care who won it. Like, if India won, I wouldn't have cared. Like, cricket is not my sport. Just think of it this way. You guys made it to the finals, so it's like you're second best in the world. But honestly, when it comes to cricket, I don't care. A bunch of guys out the back could have won it, and I would have just been, yeah, cool, okay, whatever. Imagine getting well, at least they tell you that stuff is going to happen, sort of thing, so you know that a legendary is going to spawn in the wild, sort of thing. But a lot of people, they don't read the news of the game, so when they see something pop up, they just don't know. They're either new to the game or, yeah, so it's happened. People have wasted their master balls on stuff that they shouldn't have, unfortunately. Mystic 7 has a video on the 100 craziest master ball catches. You're asking me on a scale of 1 to 10 how stupid am I? I mean, I've got enough sense not to assault people just for views and all that sort of stuff, so I mean, I can't be too low on the scale. But I mean, it depends on what you're basing intelligence on. If you're basing intelligence on, hey Jimmy, could you put a rocket into space? You know, could you land a person on Mars? It's like, well, no. But, and I can do stuff that people would class as being intelligent. I can do game design and stuff, and I don't know. I'm just gonna say I'm a good 5 or 6. You know, I'm midway in the intelligence. It's like I'm smart enough to know my worth, but I'm not smart enough to, you know, I'm not that 1% of people that are gonna change the future by creating some technology that's going to change the world, or solving world hunger, or landing people on planets. See, I don't even know how to speak English. You haven't watched it, you're going to watch it tonight. Right. Crazy, the people that use it on, yeah, a lot of people are just excited to use it. They think it's going to be a common thing, but they don't realize how rare they are. I've seen people posting up that their child has used it on some random thing, not knowing. So their child has got hold of their account, so they've, you know, caught a Pidgey or something with it, just because it's their favorite Pokemon. Not even my sport. Nah, dude, I'm not a cricket person. I like sports that have got a little physicality in them. Cricket has always just been a slow, but like I saw a video on Instagram the other day about people at the cricket here in Australia at Adelaide Oval, where they play a lot of the cricket. They're having to entertain themselves just because of how boring the game is. So you've got all these people just doing dumb stuff like chugging milk and entertaining the crowd, and I'm sitting there watching this thing just going, see, that shows how boring this sport actually is. The people are that bored in the crowd that they have to keep themselves entertained. It's like you would never see that at a basketball or a football game or even a soccer match. I mean, soccer can be pretty boring because it's just up and down, up and down, up and down. Not a lot really happens. But yeah, I like fast-paced physical games. So that's why like AFL football is my thing, because it's both of those things, fast-paced. Or for the most part, they can be slow games where it's a lot of stoppages, clearances and stuff like that, so the game's just held down. But that's usually when it's two defensive teams sort of playing each other. But when you got attacking teams, it's usually like a fast-paced game. Oh, that's that stupid guy. The guy who makes other unsafe he's in America. He's some dude. Like, the video, because it was, again, Charlie's video that I was watching where he was showing it, the dude can face up to 15 years in jail for doing pranks because he was assaulting people and then pulling guns on them and stuff like that. And it's just like, well, if anybody's going to go to jail for stupidity, he definitely does. He's won the Darwin Award for sure, for stupidity. You never let your nephews play. I don't mind letting my nephew play on my account because usually he just wants to catch things. Like, I don't leave the phone alone with him or anything like that. He'll just be like, can we catch some guys? Because that's what he calls Pokemon, just guys. He's like, let's go catch some guys. I'm like, all right. So he jumps on and just starts throwing Pokeballs at them, which I don't have an issue with. Jimmy versus Mike Type. Yeah, that's going to end well for him. You don't trust Australia with cricket because one of our guys cheated. Dude, it was more than one of the guys. It's like half the team. That was the whole sandpaper scandal thing, wasn't it? Like I said, I don't follow cricket enough to care. It's just like, whatever. I don't really care. It's because they cheated. They paid off the refs, dude. Like the umpires. They were really just going to let Australia win. No, we've always had a decent cricket team sort of thing. It's just not my sport. I'm not into it. It's something that I don't watch. I find it boring. It's like they call baseball America's pastime, like it's their favorite sport, but not a lot of Americans really watch baseball either. It's basically the same thing. It's too slow. Like they watch NFL or basketball or, you know, there's just a select few which watch. It's the same here in Australia. The vast majority of Australians probably don't actually watch cricket just because it's boring. It's a bigger sport in like England and India, mainly India. Like India, it's a big game for you guys because, I mean, it's, other than that, you don't really play a lot of sports. You don't really have like rugby or basketball or any, like there's sports there, but you don't play them on the mass scale that you do cricket. Cricket is your guys' sport. To be honest, that wasn't pranks. It was basically doing crime, like stealing people's dogs and going through people's house. Yeah, exactly. If you call it a prank and upload it, then, like I said, people do anything for views. Like, we've got into a real degenerate time where people just do anything for views and call it pranks. Like how this whole conversation started about those guys that were harassing women. That's what it was to them, just pranks. But at the same time, those poor women don't know that these are pranks, that you're not trying to hurt them in some way or abduct them, or they don't know that you're streaming. Nah, he wouldn't. He doesn't even know how to power things up or transfer things, so I wouldn't be worried about him doing that stuff. All he wants to do is catch things. No, I'm only I was only joking about the cheating sort of thing. I don't watch it, so I don't know. All I know is they did cheat at some point a few years back. That's what we were just saying. I used to think that about the tennis. I used to think that it was really boring, and then I actually started watching it because I used to work with a chick that was really into the tennis, and I thought that maybe if I started watching it and got into it, it'd give us a shiny Poochyena. It would give us a shiny Poochyena to finish off the stream. That's not the first time I've just got a random Poochyena shiny after a stream. Yeah, I thought it would give us something to talk about. And then I realized that tennis can actually be fairly entertaining. You gotta watch it and actually learn the rules for it and stuff like that to get into it. Not all tennis is entertaining, but usually the big hitters when they're playing against each other. So, for instance, if Djokovic is playing Federer or Nadal or something like that, not that Federer plays anymore, but those matches are usually pretty good. Like there was one at the Australian Open a few years back that went for, it was between Djokovic and Federer. It went for 6 hours. One finals match, like the men's finals sort of thing, went for 6 hours in like, it was like 35-degree heat or something like that. Even though it was at night time, it was still like a stinking hot, humid night, and they're running around in it for 6 hours. So it shows that they're incredible athletes to be able to stay, fit and running like that for that period of time. It doesn't look like they're covering a lot of distance on courts, but it's short bursts from like side to side. They end up doing like, kilometers and kilometers worth of running. So yeah, those matches can actually be really good. Hey, and I mean, if you watch the women's tennis, there can be a lot of cute women which play the tennis. It's one of those sports where there is a lot of female athletes that are not only talented, but good looking. So you can watch it and be like, cool, awesome. You played baseball, moves fast. Oh, the ball moves fast, rather. Yeah, the ball may move fast, but the game doesn't. Yeah, Federer, like I said, has retired now. Djokovic is still around. Nadal is still around as well. I don't know, at the moment there isn't. We'll have to see what actually happens this year, just because Australia's actually got a few good players, but they never play. The last couple of years, Kyrgios has been injured, so he hasn't really been able to play. But he's sort of moving his way up the ranks. He's just a bit of a... Yeah, his attitude off the court isn't the best. So he's a bad representation from Australia. Unfortunately, a lot of Australian tennis players over the last couple of years have been a little bit like that. They've just been really arrogant assholes. Not very humble. There's been some decent ones, but they never really get too professional. Has been the ones that have gotten sort of higher up. They just let it go to their heads and they just become assholes. But yeah, cool. We finished off with a shiny Poochie. Poochie Woochie. Hockey's both ice and field hockey are pretty brutal sports. One of my sister's friends, back when I was younger, she played hockey. She was rough as guts. Like, just the injuries that you can get in hockey are pretty brutal. Like, field hockey, more so than ice hockey, just because at least in ice hockey you're wearing padding and stuff like that, whereas in field hockey the only padding that you've really got is shin guards. And yeah, if somebody smacks a ball at you, it hurts. It really hurts. NFL and hockey, 100% only sports you can watch. I'm not a big fan of NFL. It's too slow, in my opinion. It's one of the reasons why I'm not too big into basketball as well. Like, basketball is good, but just American sports, they love their timeouts. They love just having play go for 2 minutes and then time out. We got to stand around for 5 minutes and talk about what we're going to do next. Now let's go play for another 2 minutes. Time out, play, time out, play, time out, and it gets to be too much. I just like people going out and playing for half an hour and doing what they need to do and then having a short break and then getting back to it. Yeah, I don't like the strategic gameplays behind it. Like, I understand there's a reason for it, but I just feel like it's too stop start, stop start, stop start, stop start. It's not my cup of tea. India has a sport where you slap each other. I saw this thing on Instagram last night. I think it was in Russia, where it was a cross between basketball, rugby, and wrestling. So basically, you're running and you're scoring like in basketball, but the guys are full like spear tackling each other and like suplexing on, and it's just like, how has nobody broken a neck in this sport? Like, this is about as brutal as it gets. You know, people going up to dunk the ball and just getting spear tackled onto the floor. And it didn't look like they were playing on a soft surface either, so it was just like, ouch, like that's gotta hurt. Only in Russia. Slap boxing, it's called in India. Why don't you just do normal boxing? Like, why slap people? Slapping is such a yeah, I mean, slapping can hurt. They've got those, like, if you've seen them in America, they've got like the hillbilly slap tournament things where you just get a whole bunch of toothless hillbillies just slapping each other as hard as they can. They're pretty funny, but at the same time, it's like, if you're gonna do that, just punch each other. Good to have a talk with you. Came in to say hi. Minecraft. Oh, good. Good to talk to you too, dude. We need a real life Squid Game. Have you seen what starts tomorrow on Netflix? There is basically that, a real life Squid Games, without the death and the murder and stuff. It's basically just Squid Games, but real life Squid Games. Yeah, there's like 365 people or whatever it is that are competing for $3.65 million. And yeah, it's basically that, where it's just Squid Games, but in real life. So yeah, if you've got Netflix, that starts tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow. But yeah, I don't know how entertaining it's going to be without the death and the murder and stuff, because that's basically what made Squid Games what it is. But they've got like set up, so they've got all the games that they played in Squid Games, but you know, safe versions of them, which people aren't actually going to die from. As I said, no death and murder. And then they've got like, when everybody's back in the bunks, like in the sleeping halls, they bring in food for like certain people, and then those people are got to share the food with other people. And so yeah, they've set it up so people have to like get teams with other people, and there'll be a lot of treachery and lying and scheming and all that sort of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what it's like. Should be entertaining, but like I said, without the fear of death, it's not going to be the same. Rugby seems pretty rough. Yeah, you got to be a rough nut to play rugby. Um, I've always seen rugby as like NFL, but without the pads. So it's very similar to like American football in a sense. Like, it's different, but it's the same sort of thing. But yeah, I knew people that used to play rugby back in the day. It's a sport for pretty burly guys, because I mean, when I was in high school, the people that used to play rugby were usually like the Islanders. So you had like the Tongans and the Kiwis and the Samoans and stuff like that that were all like into the rugby, but these were all like big tanky guys. NFL is brutal, better than Australia. Of what? American football. We don't play gridiron here. Well, we do, but not professionally. Do I have a British bull? Yeah. Back in primary school, we played it. And then I think I played it for at least a year or two. No, I think it was the first year of high school we played it for a bit as well. And then didn't. But yes, I have played it before. Born in Seoul, live in the US. I need a tissue now. I've been walking around in the wind, so my nose is a bit runny. In Korea. It's in the title of his name, James. Come on. Korea has Seoul, like Seoul, Korea. It's like the capital city of South Korea. He gave you all the clues that you needed, man. There is actually a glaring Ponyta raid. I'd do it, but I think I might just save my pass for tomorrow. Because it's a shiny that I still need. And I see them in the wild every so often. Okay. Do want to try and stockpile a few more balls for the weekend. Alright, but yeah, we ended up having a pretty good night tonight, shiny-wise. We started with a shiny and we end with a shiny. So we got the shiny Dunsparce and a Poochie. Like I said, it's not the first time we got a shiny Poochie after a Spotlight Hour. Our last shiny Poochie was actually during the Halloween event. Yeah, during Phantom. Yeah, because we ended up with 3 shinies from Phantom raid hour. And then we had one like just before that one as well. We got one during the it was the Scroopy Day. So yeah, we got a shiny Poochie during the Scroopy Day, and then we got another one during Phantom Spotlight Hour. Again, that was after we'd finished. And then we got another Poochie. It took me so long to get a shiny Poochie, and then we've got so many of them now. How many shiny Poochies do I have? Poochie. Quite a few now. We have 8 shiny Poochie / Mighty-Enas. So we don't really need any more of them, but if anybody needs a shiny Poochie, you know who to hit up. You know who's got them. But alrighty guys, well, I figure that stretch. Yeah, we can probably wrap this one up here, guys. But thank you so much for everybody that has tuned in tonight. Like I said, we've had a decent night hunting, decent night shinies, all that sort of stuff. Night, James. Kimmy. Who are you calling Kimmy? For a second I was thinking like Jimmy Kimmel. I'm like, please don't call me Jimmy Kimmel. Don't do that. Yeah. Alrighty guys, so I will be back tomorrow night for Corbellion Raid Hour. So if you guys are keen on some Corbellion raids, we'll be here hosting them same time as tonight's stream. So from just before 6 PM onwards my time. And then yeah, on the weekend we've got Mareep. I said Spotlight Hour. It is Com Day Classic. So we got that on a Saturday. All good, Korea. All good. We usually stream for like an hour or so. Like usually the streams are roughly going until around this time. So hopefully you can pop in at some point. We're still hosting. But yeah, alrighty guys, thank you for tuning in. Much appreciated. I'll see you guys tomorrow evening. So until then, enjoy your morning, evening, noon, or night. Stay safe, happy hunting. Good luck for your Spotlight Hour. Hopefully you guys can get the shiny. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. Until then, peace out. Have a good one. And also, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button because it does help the stream. I haven't said that at all so far, so that's okay. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.